it's a simple time. I got the Viscaria. I'm gonna lightly sand it with 400 grit sandpaper. I already did it. I just want to lightly do it on the edge just to make sure that the rubber stays on the paddle 100%. It will never come off unless he wants to peel it off. My friend, Shuyin. Anyways, all right. Make sure sand the edges and same on this side. It's a brand new Viscaria. Forehand will be Hurricane 3 Blue Sponge National 2.1 millimeter thickness, 41 degrees hardness. And then backhand will be Dignics 05 2.1 degrees red. So I'm gonna wipe the dust off. So yeah. Okay, so usually what I do is 2 layers on the blade and then 1 more layer on the rubber. So let's go. So first layer, you want to go a bit generously because the blade itself soaks in a lot of the glue, the wood. Well, there we go. I'm gonna try to let y'all see this. I think I put a little bit too much, but too much is okay. Too much is better than too little. You always put a little bit more rather than less. Too little is there, then you will have a problem. Turn the lights on. You just see this better. All right, looks good. And now we're gonna put a 1 layer only on the rubber. So on the back end, it's Dignics 05. This is already have a 3-layer base of glue and also 1 layer of Hyphen Black booster. You can see that it's a little bit wet at the beginning. That's what happens when you use Hyphen Black, but don't worry, it's dried already. I waited like 1.5 day. Usually you just need 1 day. It's usually dried, but I did 1.5 just to make sure. I'm actually sick and can't be bothered to assemble. That's why it's been 1.5, but after it's dried, it's good to go. Okay. Make sure it's all even. Yeah, see that there's a little tiny dome because of 1 layer booster. You don't want overboost. How I exactly prepare this, there's a video. Link will be in the description. Hopefully. So make sure this is all even. And this is done. So I'm gonna put this aside. All right, so now the Hurricane 3. This is yeah, National Blue. One of the best that you can use. The glue I'm using is Revolution 3. You can use Fine Zip, you can use DHS 15. The reason why I use Revolution 3 is out in 500 milliliter, and it's very, I would say, viscosity isn't super high, so I get longer time to spread it evenly, and it's very easy to adjust if you make a mistake. And also you can spam glue layers, right? And it's cheap, actually. It's pretty cheap, so. All right. So yeah, this is spread evenly, and now we wait 30 minutes. I'm gonna put a second layer on the blade, and then I'm gonna cut the backhand. All right, peace. All right, now second glue layer on the backhand side on the blade. I do two, so the glue will be very even. And also, Revolution 3, the glue I use is very thin, so you can spam glue layers without worry. Because most of it is like water. That's why it's very thin, and it will evaporate eventually. And so there won't be much glue. That's why you can spam glue layers. So I do two on the blade, and then I'm gonna attach the Dignics 05 on the backhand. Once again, make sure this is even. Okay, this is very even, and then another 30 minutes, and I'm gonna put it on. All right, now time to put the Dignics 05 on the backhand. I have a light here, really bright, so I can really make sure I get this even, and also right at the bottom, the base, the blade. I want to make sure that the arrow is in the middle of the handle. Yeah, I think this is about right. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put the base down first, and then I'm gonna have just like a generic roller. I got this like a couple dollars on Amazon. Roll it slowly and gently, not too much. You don't want to stress. You don't want to stretch the rubber, because when you take it off, in case you want to take it off, it will shrink. So slowly and evenly put the rubber onto the blade. Since I set the blade 400, so I'm pretty sure this is on there. Just make sure you get the edges and stuff. Once it's on there, you just roll it a couple times, and it's good to go. All right, so I'm gonna make sure the edges is on. All right, cool. Now we're gonna cut it. Nothing special to it. You just cut it, not too slowly, but in one like motion. Make sure the scissors is cutting along the edge of the blade. And I usually do try to do one continuous motion, right? Make sure the scissors is touching the blade all the time. It might not be perfect, but it will be pretty close to perfect, since I've been doing this for years. So, okay. Oh well. Okay, so yeah, there we go. There's some damage on the edges, a little bit. I don't know how, but oh well. Yeah, but this is basically pretty good. I think Tensor's rubbers, right? They're very brittle. They're not like Hurricane 3s and high density ones. But yeah, this is pretty good. So yeah, now we're gonna go for the forehand side. I'm gonna put glue on the forehand side. All right, glue on the forehand side. So I'll put 2 layers of glue on the forehand side on the blade, same as the backhand side, and then. So I think it's actually easier to cut Hurricane 3s, especially the blue sponge, because it's a very, how do I say this? It's a very crisp cut. The rubber, the sponge is not brittle, so when cutting, you will feel like crispiness. Contrary, you think that soft rubber it's easier to cut, but I think the harder ones are easier actually, especially the Hurricane 3. You're gonna see there's like some tiny damages on the edge of the Dignics, and Dignics is like one of the harder tensors, right? It's like 50 degrees ESN, and it's pretty much harder than Tenergy 05 by a lot. I think it's like 40 degrees, whatever butterfly I use on the hardness scale, and then Tenergy is like 36 or something like that. Anyways, enough of that. First there on the blade for the forehand, make sure it's even. Yep, good. And then we wait a bit for the second. Yeah, so pretty good. Yeah, this is pretty much perfect. All right, see you guys in 30 minutes. All right, now the second layer on the forehand. Man, I usually don't play butterfly, but dang, this handle feels pretty heavy. That's why a lot of people say really like butterfly, because the handles is, I would say, very balanced. It's not head heavy, and it feels it's like a solid piece of wood. Mostly other brand are like hollow. So if you want like more balance, I guess butterfly is the way to go. I personally like head heavy because I'm more forehand dominant, but people have their preferences. So if your backhand to forehand transition would be very fast on butterfly blades. Got it on the handle a bit. Jeez. What happens when you're sick? Anyways, yep, this is last layer of glue. I'm putting the glue away because I don't need it anymore. And then wait 30 minutes, put the Hurricane 3 on, and then that's it. All right, see you guys in 30 minutes. All right, this is the last part. We're gonna put the Hurricane 3 on the forehand. Make the light brighter. Make sure this is somewhat even. Okay, have the base down first. Same thing as the backhand. Don't stretch it too much. Roll kind of slowly, because you don't want it to shrink after you take it off for whatever reason. So slowly. Because I used a paper towel, the rubber is very clean. There's no dirt or fingerprints on it or whatever. So yeah, make sure the edges, not the edges. You can see there's some accumulated dust on it, so you just clean it with like Spin Refresh or whatever cleaner of your choice. Like that'll be fine. So I'm gonna make sure the edges are on. You really want to make sure the edges are on because this is domed, right? You don't want the edges to fall off. This is why it's sanded with 400 grit sandpaper, especially on the edges. So yeah, you can see the pimples. That's a successful boosting right there. All right, now I'm gonna cut it. Cutting this is actually kind of easier because the sponge is harder, the rubber is harder, so it's more crispy. Yeah, you can hear the crisp. So it's actually easier to cut. Go along with the blade as usual. It just feels so nice to cut this. Way more comfortable than the XO5. Because the sponge is not brittle, right? And the rubber is not brittle. So it's a very crispy cut. Yeah, so I did it pretty fast there. And yeah, it's even better, I think, than the backhand. So you can see here, this is pretty much perfect. You can see the pimples because it's boosted. So now, I'm gonna make sure the edges are not coming off. Double check. Yep, this is on the blade, 100% because of the 400 grit sandpaper. So yeah, now I'm gonna clean it and then I'm gonna use a textbook to press this for like overnight. And then tomorrow I'm gonna put it in a box and then ship it away. All right, thank you all for watching for the symbol of this paddle for my friend. and see you guys next time.